Good morning, it's March 2nd, 2011. Just taking a look at the garden. Everything's coming in real nice. So my little cabbages in front. Just kind of had some extra, so I figured to see what they'd do out there, kind of beyond the ring. That's a little habanero pepper there. And we got some crooked neck squash, some potato. I don't know if you can see. There's a little pepper. It's actually serranos. And back there, those are my ancient long sweet peppers. Those are coming in really good. Dill. Dill's doing really good. And got some sugar snap peas and a little cucumber in the middle. I'll eventually climb up the trellis. And we've got some little basil under there. And you can kind of see it. I've got it covered in straw to protect it. But there's some basil down in front there. Another crooked neck squash. These are all my beans and peas. These are stringless beans down the center. And then each side I've got kind of flanking snap peas on either side. And again, more cucumber. I got cucumbers in all the corners. That's a row of carrots right there. And I've actually got more of them coming along again. I kind of exceeded the barriers of my garden and have moved out into the general yard area now. So kind of everything's up for grabs. A little strawberry plant. I had a couple little strawberries, but we picked them off. They were real little. And back over here again, we got the cucumbers in the corner. We got some miscellaneous bell peppers and stuff I'm trying to grow on the outside of the wall there. This is all mint. It's going absolutely crazy. And these are all radish. They're coming in really good. I don't know if you can see any of the red tops on them. I put some more soil to cover it up, but doing really good. Again, another cucumber. It's potato I just picked there. I don't want to shade my stuff too much. Cucumber's a little off center. Again, those are my sweet peppers. This is kind of where I threw a mix of peppers I had. There's all kinds of hot stuff in there. And these are some cherry bells. Those are peppers as well. And then right behind me, I've got my spinach growing. This is all spinach. And again, everything's from seed, so it's just coming up. But it's doing hardy. It's nice and firm. Over here the other day, I went down to a local nursery, a guy that grows everything from seed, and got a couple of pole beans. I'm gonna go ahead and try to train them up the fence here. We got plenty of poles in the backyard, so there's 3 of them, so we should have no shortage of beans. Those are brown pole beans. And then here, I had some, actually, if you see, I've got some dried corn, sorry, that I've been feeding to the squirrels. And I went ahead and scraped some off and threw it down here along the back fence. This is where the dogs dig again, and lo and behold, I've got corn. So we'll see how that does here. And then I also threw down some miscellaneous stuff around the backyard. I had some butternut squash. I kind of took all the old seeds I had and just kind of scattered them like Johnny Appleseed. And lo and behold, like I said, everything seems to be kind of coming up. These are my boots, and if you look real close, and this wasn't here yesterday, but I've got my first little pepper sprout, and there should be at least 1 or 2 in each one of these boots. But that's going to be a Cuban sweet pepper. They actually got a little bit of a bite to them, but they're not very spicy. I'll go ahead and walk over here to my recycled wheelbarrow, which is now my okra bed. These are doing real good. Got a bunch of them. I'll probably thin them out once things start growing, but they're kind of taking their sweet time to get started. So I've never grown okra before. And what's left of the kumquats. And more boot planters, and again, this is another Cuban sweet, but it's just come up within the last day or so. And again, there should be a few more in that boot. And then right off to the side, that's my black beauty eggplant. And it's already flowering. It's not shooting up so much, but it's a good hardy plant. So I'm not surprised. As we get over here, actually we'll pan over here real quick. It's my heirloom big boy tomato. Ooh, more potatoes. Like I said, I kind of went crazy with the potatoes. It's another cucumber. That's a green store variety. And then here we've got the vine, more of a pickling cucumber. We've got a few of them in there. The one seems to be really doing better than the rest. So we got these little ones out here that have just kind of not really done much, just kind of stayed yellow. And next to those we have spaghetti squash. It just went in a few days ago. And just built a quick trellis at the shop. Put some stain on it. I thought it'd be plenty for that. And again, our compost. That's the gold mine of the garden back here. And I've got tomatoes that I've planted along the line here. We'll see if they come up through the soil or not. Don't know. And more potatoes that these have already been covered a couple times with soil and hay, and they just keep on pushing through, so hopefully that technique works. And my cabbage, get out of the light. Something is eating my cabbage, so I've decided to sprinkle it with not only BT, which is a caterpillar killer, but homemade red pepper that we made from all our hottest peppers last year. And you see what they've been doing, completely just eating them down to the nubs. But since I've sprinkled this stuff on there since last night, there was no further damage last night. I'm guessing it might be mice. But other than that, the cabbage is doing really well. And then we've got it's a Roma tomato, get a cucumber that I'll train along the fencing here. These are more cherry bell peppers. And these are cayennes. And these are, I believe, Tabascos. And guess what? More potatoes. And guess what? More potatoes. And guess what? More potatoes. And I know I'm Irish, but I'll never eat this many potatoes. So that's the garden. You'll see all the hay down that I've kind of, like I said, I've breached the outer perimeters of my raised beds, and like I said, I've just kind of made the whole backyard fair game. Figure my vegetables will look a lot better than weeds do. So again, March 2nd, 2011, signing off. Happy gardening.